Hi, this is Mr. H, and I'm going to go over a few of these problems so you can see the structure that we talked about in class, just in case you missed it or need to see it again. So the purpose of this assignment is to write and solve these equations in a two-column format, which is typically found in geometry. So you can go through and just solve this like we normally would, right? And using the text tool here. And normally you'd say, let's combine the -9 and 11 first. So after we combine -9 and 11, we'd have 2x plus 2, right, equals 3x minus 6, let's say. And I'm going to try to line these up as much as possible here. Just like that, right? And then typically we would maybe subtract 2x on both sides. Now here's where it's different. We're not going to actually write minus 2x and minus 2x, but just skip that part and write what you get afterwards. So if we subtracted 2x on the left-hand side, you'd just be left with positive 2. And if you subtracted 2x on the right-hand side, 3x minus 2x would be 1x. So that's what's different here. We're not actually writing down the minus this on both sides and writing each step down, right? And then next we would add 6 to both sides, right? And then we would get 8 equals, space, equals x, right? There we go. So x equals 8, 8 equals x. So we're done, right? So it's a little bit different where we're not writing, and I'll put this part in here. If you want to think about it or write it out first, you can, but we're not putting in this part. We're not doing this. Okay? And drawing this line, and then crossing things off, and then 3x minus 2x is x. So we're just going to leave this part off. Same thing here. We're not going to put this part here like you probably have in the past and cross things off. At some point we get to a place where this is not as necessary to write every little thing, and we can follow this. Now we're not going to just assume that we know exactly what's going on in each step, so that's where the two-column comes in. So what we're going to do is to the right of each of these, just describe what you did on that step. So on this step, we combine the 11 and the -9, which is called combining like terms. Combine like terms. Right? And then over here, what we did is we subtracted. So we used the subtraction property. And then right here, we added, right? We added 6 to both sides, so we can put addition property. Addition property. Technically, it's called addition property of equality, but addition property will do fine. So this is the part that I'm going to be checking for on your homework, is just seeing that you have these terms written out for each step. And again, you leave off the actual scribing of what you subtracted and added or divided on both sides and things like that. Okay, and you can double check your answers down below. Right, all the answers are here. And this isn't really supposed to be about if you can or cannot solve the equation. If you need help solving the equation, there's plenty of websites like this one, SciMath, where you can just type in the equation and it'll tell you, right, first thing to do is, simplify. We call it combine like terms, and you can see the step and then subtract 2x on both sides and so on, right? So this isn't really about solving equations, more about writing in this format so you have this for each of these. So you can go through each one of these and make this little solution just like this. Most of these are very short. Like here we just have to subtract 2x, distribute 2x to the x and the 8, or you can divide by 2 on both sides, so there's different ways of doing it, right? Over here we just have a simple one step where you just have to add these two values together and you're finished, right? Over here we just need to subtract 130 on both sides. So these aren't very complicated equations, and it's really just designed for you to write these out in a two-column format. And if something is already solved, like this one, already have 98 equals a measure of angle xzy, then you don't need to do that one. But I wanted to just do this second part of all these equations and going through and solve them and writing our answers like this for this assignment. Okay, so I'll be looking for these on each of these problems that are not already solved.